All right, gangly. All right, gangly. Give it 1 minute and we getting right into it. All right. Full moon and beloved Virgo. Shout outs to my beloved Virgos. All right. Run that James back. Run that back. Run that back. What's going on? Yeah. I got to know now. All right, y'all. So, full moon in Virgo. Full moon in Virgo. Let's get right into it. It's going to peak tomorrow. Okay. These energies are going to peak tomorrow. Moon Faye. What's going on? Chachi, I didn't even see your comment, Chachi. Kendra, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on with y'all, family? How y'all enjoying the vibes of the day? I know. You can always feel the switch of the moon. You can always feel the switch of the moon, especially if it like just starts squaring you. Or it just starts becoming opposite to you. You're gonna feel that when you wake up in the morning. You're gonna feel that like, damn. What's in the air? Let me take a little extra 15 minutes brushing my motherfucking teeth, washing my face today, getting my shit together, cause I could feel it in the air. No Beanie Siegel. All right, so I always got a lot of nose sweat, y'all know. I gotta check that second house space. What's going on with my second house? What's my second house, Lord? Jupiter. God damn, Jupiter's always enlightening and precipitating, and because when you look at the houses, they all correlate to areas of the body. So that's when we start getting into health and astrology. Okay, so the first house gonna deal with the head area. I also like to say that specifically the first house deals with the head area, but the first house has a lot to do with your body's vitality as well. Okay, you know, the second house gonna deal with, first house is the head and everything in it and externally. Nose, eyes, brain, skull, all of that. Second house, it's more of your throat area, glands and throat chakra and all of that area right here. You know, then you can say Gemini is like the upper chest, shoulders and a bit. You know, the external chest. Fourth house, heart chakra area. All right, it's the heart chakra. Fifth house, solar plexus area. Okay. And you correlate all of these to your chakras. You feel me? For the most part. You know, the seventh house. Everything aligns in this way. So we're gonna say that for that when we get into health and astrology. But whenever you got issues with certain areas of your body, physical issues, a lot of the times this is stimulated from some energy that we may have been overdoing in that area, like for that house. So you want to always check out that house, Lord, see what's always going on in that house, what's stimulating that house, aka the planet that rules the sign in the house. All right. So back to full moon in Virgo, y'all. Full moon in Virgo. Now, what is a full moon? What exactly does a full moon represent? When we talk about the moon, we know the moon is showing us what to react and respond to. We know the moon is showing us the vibe of the vibration of the world and how to correlate and get aligned with it. We know our moon deals with how we deal with our emotional stability, how we react and respond. So, depending on where the moon is transiting, us being able to react and respond to that energy helps us to correlate with the vibe of the day, helps us to correlate how we naturally react and respond, our natural moon sign, our natural emotional state with the day. All right. So the moon is waxing and waning. We could say shedding. It's consuming, eating, and then shedding. And when it's at a full moon peak, all right, it's at the top of its, what we could say it's when it's eating energies, consuming energies, and we're basically feeding the moon. So by the way we react and respond, that's the energy the moon is picking up and giving off to the sun to filter through, because the sun filters the illusion of the moon. So the moon is always how we feel, but the sun is how things look once again. And when we look at the moon being at a full moon, at a full peak, that means the vibration of the world is at a full peak. That means emotions are high. Just this weekend, when I was going through my horoscope transits, when I when I was going through my horoscope transit, I said, y'all, it's gonna be, this week is gonna go through, it's gonna have high emotion. This week is gonna potentially, you know, put you through a couple of roller coasters through situations that you deal with the emotions, because we started the week with heavy water. All right, we started the week with the sun in Pisces, moon in Cancer. And as we transited, then we had a Leo moon transit. Now that dealt with pushing out a lot of the feelings we were soaking into the beginning of the week. And now that we in a full moon point, these emotions are accumulated all the way from our new moon, our previous new moon, accumulated all the way up to our full moon. So the emotions of the world were high. Yeah, Mona. Moon Faye. I hear you on that. A lot of us, a lot of us started the week just trying to be to ourselves to cater emotions and understand how to deal with them. And we only really wanted to be around people who we really connected with, who we tight knitted with. We wasn't trying to. People this week was not trying to be around people that you don't really know you don't really know they unpredictable pretty much. People wasn't trying to regulate and deal with other people's expression. We was more so correlating to how we feel about things, and this is why it could have been a high expressive week for you, especially when the moon got into Leo these past 2 days. I based off of feeling like pushing these energies out, because when the moon is full, the emotion of the world is full, and when it's at that point, we feel like we need to get some of that off. We need to release that emotion, that pent up energy, or we need to see how to cultivate it and direct it for the rest of these moon travels on the way to the next new moon. So this is what we're dealing with when we're looking at the full moon in Virgo. This is also the last moon of the last full moon of the year. We know the real new year starts in spring, in Aries season. So this is the last full moon of the year. This is a very recollective energy. The moon is always going to tap you into the past. Understand that. The moon is always going to tap you into the past, because it deals with memory. Vibration is the only thing that you take with you as you go in and out of bodies. Okay? And even through that, you don't have the same perception of your previous life. You could tap into the feel. You could tap in you could pick up on the feel of things you experienced in your previous life. You could have a soul tie situation, or you could have a soul tie situation, or it could be a soulmate situation. All right? Libra Scorpio cusp, heavy Scorpio energies, Mercury and Scorpio. We always got to bring up the negative thing first. We always got to bring up the negative thing first, Mercury and Scorpio. Like, we got to think of the negative thing first. But soulmate relationship, or a certain situation in your life that feels like something you've been doing over and over again, you gonna pick up on the feel of it, but you ain't gonna really be able to see it and have a real perception of it, because the sun it's always a new illusion. This experience is an illusion. Like, this is an illusion. But when we speaking esoterically, you understand that, you know, the spirit is what's driving this and experiencing this. Okay? The moon is the feel through it all, and the sun is how it's gonna look, the illusion that's presented. This is why you meet somebody and you see you meet somebody and you see the way they act, you seeing their sun and everything. You feel me? And you start really connecting to them. You start seeing them react to other situations. Like now you see who they truly are. The sun was the what? The illusion. The sun sign was what was being used just for others to see it. So in some type of shape or form, the sun sign you have spiritually coming into this world, y'all gotta look at it as when you was coming to this world, like, yo, this is how I want people to see me. Yeah. Libra. Oh yeah. Communicative. I'm gonna beam that Venus energy off. This is where I want my appearance to be. This is what's gonna be my cover up. That Libra energy. You feel me? But then my mood, your mood, that's the soft spot. That's your core. Okay? That's gonna connect you to everything that you was into before this lifetime, and what to do with it and how to evolve to it. How to evolve with it. Okay? So the moon is always gonna tap you into the past. It's always gonna help you to reflect on things. And when it's at a full point, we can this whole week could have been a lot of reflecting on things that we've been experiencing recently. And up into this weekend, a lot of people feel like right now, even not being into astrology, this is just what it is. People, you don't even have to be in astrology. And there's a lot of people right now with the moon going into Virgo today, even though it peaks tomorrow, people feeling right now like, yeah, something got to change this weekend. Something got to change this weekend. Something got to change this weekend. It's something I got to work on this weekend. It's something I got to refine and structure this weekend. By default, with the moon going to Virgo, because the emotion's so high in that energy. And the Virgo archetype, when we talk about, before we go to the Virgo archetype, to finish breaking down the full moon, so the emotion is already high, and we know the moon deals with responding. So we're going to have a high emotion to respond to something. That's why we want to do these things wisely, consciously, and we want to understand what sign the moon is in, because we never want to overdo it during a full moon. You never want to overdo it during a full moon. Whatever that energy is, you never want to overdo reacting and responding to it, because you're putting too much water into the cup. You're putting too much vibration into a full energy. You want to let that John pass by, react and respond to it in your own wise, conscious, protected spiritual space. And then when it gets into that, the next travel and it start, going down, then you feel me, you can start working with putting more energy into things. And this is also showing you how much of a percentage of energy you should be putting into things. So if the moon is at a full point, that lets us know this is a time we doing more releasing, detaching, clearing our space. All right? When the moon is new, it's new. It's time to add all your dreams, aspirations, goals, passions. It's time to throw all that shit at the universe. It's time to throw all of that shit at the universe. It's time to stir the pot, and serve everybody with all the energies, all the new intentions you want to push out, all the new opportunities you want to attract. It's time to dive heavy into that shit. It's a new moon. The moon needs our vibe. That's what's happening That's what's happening essentially when we see the moon, decreasing and increasing in size or whatever. We doing that. The moon feeding off our vibe. So when it's new, we can give the moon something to react to. Give the moon something to connect to so it can nurture that. So that's why when we react and respond to the moon is like, all right, yeah. And it's us reacting and responding to the moon keeps us in alignment. The moon is helping us nurture that. The moon is helping us understand that energy that is transiting. The moon deals with understanding. Okay? So that's just every day when it comes to the moon travels. All right? So when we get into full moons, all right, boom. The peak is huge here. All right? We don't want to overdo it. You want to actually see what to detach and release from to clear space. Okay. And now when we get into Virgo, Virgo is mutable earth ruled by Mercury. Okay. Virgo is a changeable, adaptable, flexible when it comes to different ways of dealing with stability, building, structuring, all right? Stability, organization, different way they dealing with common sense. Earth is dealing with common sense, practicality, okay? And when we throw Mercury in there, Mercury is here to see the detail of things. Mercury is here to analyze, observe, see the instructions, see how things work, okay? See what could be connected, see how to detach things. Mercury's experimenting, okay? But overall, it governs how we think and communicate, how we see the details of things, how we organize our thoughts to communicate them to others. So somebody's Mercury sign gonna have a whole lot to do with the way they communicate, a whole lot to do with it. So like I just said earlier, I got Mercury in Scorpio. So yes, the way I communicate come out passionate as shit. All right, be too heavy sometimes. The way I communicate can be heavy, and I don't realize it. Why? Because first of all, Mercury gets slowed up in water. So we know water deals with the past. All right, water deals with the past. So if you got Mercury in a water sign, the way you think and communicate could be kind of behind time. Like you could kind of be sinking into your own thoughts a lot, daydreaming a lot. Mercury in water. Reading between the lines too deep. A Mercury in water gonna read between some goddamn lines. A Mercury, you dating a Mercury in water, they gonna communicate subconsciously and subliminally, and they gonna say things just to see how you react to it. That's water signs too, period. That's how water signs be communicating and expressing themselves too, period. Water signs do things to see how they say certain things, just to see how they partner react to it. Water and air signs be having some similarities with how they communicate, because we have to understand the air element, the water element. Okay, you got H2O and oxygen. You got that relationship and everything. So water signs got a way of articulating themselves and using words to play on people's emotions at times. You know, water signs know how to pick up people's soft spots. You'll be dating a water sign forever, and think you got the upper hand in a relationship. Think you could just you think the water sign's sensitive. You think you could just say whatever to the water sign, and then you think you got upper hand if you in your manipulative bag. You think you could just say things to easily put them down and manipulate them and shit. You think they don't know your soft spot. They might not just be trying to do that to you right now. They just trying to understand what the fuck going on. Water and the moon and all that should deal with understanding, receiving. So water signs let you do your shit. Water signs let you do your shit. Trying to understand the vibe, understand what's going on in a relationship right now, understand what's going on in career right now, understand what's going on in the family environment. Keep receiving some information. Keep soaking onto the vibe of what's going on. Keep picking up on the temperament. It's like, okay, I see where everybody's emotions is coming from. This is a water sign subconsciously. I see where everybody's emotions is coming from. Now you get into argument with the water sign. You say some shit to them. Now for the first time, they say some shit to you. And that shit just pierce your whole soul. That shit just pierce your whole soul. It just pierce your whole soul. You feel me? You push the water sign there. Why you gotta push the water sign there? Why you gotta push the water sign there? If a water sign want to do something, if you violating a water sign, disrespecting a water sign, or like you not, it's water. Water can drown you. Niggas get lost in tsunamis. Niggas, hurricanes do damage. Okay, people get lost in the sea all the time. So you gotta be careful when you playing with people. Just think about it with the element you playing with. You see the body, but look at people as the element. Like, look at people as their archetype. That's why Leo come in the room. They the sun. They got light. They got appearance. The way they express themselves in some type of way gonna have some light to it. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, water sign. Y'all gotta be careful dealing with water signs. Y'all leave water signs alone. All right, y'all leave water signs alone. say something to you and shake up your whole goddamn emotional state. And yeah, that was the last point I was gonna make. And when you push a water sign back against the wall, it's like they can't say, they're not gonna express something that's like light emotion or something. Like, it's all the emotion you done pushed, you all the emotion you was giving them, they was soaking that up. It was more so about how they was gonna react to it. That was that. You feel me? But for the most of that, that has a lot to do with their moon too. But shit, you motherfucking what they express gonna have some heavy emotion to it, and that's they not gonna know how to react or respond or express some shit without it being heavy emotion. Like, that's what it is. That's what they gonna use. That's the water. Like, that's, you try to use my emotions against me. You try to manipulate me. All right, hold this. Let's see how you deal with this. Look in the mirror, motherfucker. Because you can see yourself in water. You're looking at a pond. A pond do got a form of reflection a bit, depending on the type of body or in different images. You kind of see. You could kind of. It's transparent. It's transparent, but even in that type of way, you're looking at a pond that is reflecting a little bit of some shit. So take that to an account. A water sign could throw your own goddamn emotions into your own face as they defense mechanism, as they like. They not even pulling some shit out of thin air. They just taking a piece of how you dealing with the emotions and just throw that shit back at you. But not to just go all over the place. When we talk about the Virgo archetype, we know Virgo dealing with building, seeing the details of things, structuring. Overall, it comes out that sixth house energy. It's coming out that sixth house energy, dealing with how we routine, schedule, and organize. So this is gonna be a huge emphasis with the full moon. We gotta learn to react and respond to that Virgo energy, to making sure we're putting things in order, to making sure we're developing a routine to schedule and organize the things that need attention, that need that formula for our dreams and aspirations to start to make its way into existence. When we look at full moons, full moons are always going to be opposite the sun. Opposites attract, opposites clash. We want to make sure with the opposites in our chart, in our own personal natal chart, and the opposites with that we're experiencing, that we're finding ways to make these energies have a harmonious meetup, because they're gonna meet, they're gonna clash. We want to make sure that shit harmonious. We want to make sure when they clash, they got something to give each other. We want to make sure when the full moon in Virgo is coming in contact with the sun in Pisces right now, that they got something to give each other. Okay? And that opposite axis, you got one side of the axis dealing with heavy refinement, structure, routine, practicality, security, organization, all right, career. Then you got the opposite end dealing with your imaginations, the imagination, your dreams, your illusions, your fantasies, your intuition, your subconscious realm. Okay? So it's completely opposite. But in some type of shape or form, one need the other. Every opposite need to learn how to get in tune with that energy, with their opposite energy. Every zodiac sign has a lot to learn from their opposite energy. And this is why I'm doing the debilitation series right now. Because our opposite energy is going to play out as our Achilles heel. Okay? Our opposite energy is going to play out as something vulnerable with us. And we experiencing that right now. AKA, we need to learn to react and respond to routine wherever house that Virgo, the moon in Virgo is transiting, okay, to help us cultivate them dreams and imagination some more. Everything is perfect, y'all. Understand, everything is perfect. Everything is the way the fuck it's supposed to be. So, and we could break that down in so many levels. But everything works in its divine timing with astrology. So when you have a certain planet transiting a house, understand it's at this point in time in your experience, universe wants this emphasis for you to deal with in this area of your life, because you need it. It's gonna trickle into helping other areas in your life. It's gonna help you evolve. This is the emphasis in this specific day and time. Okay, so when we're looking at not overdoing this energy, we got to be careful with levels of criticism, on others, critiquing others, expressing it. Because the moon is how we feel, the sun is how we look. So we're going to feel like dealing with forms of putting things in order, scheduling, organizing, seeing the details of things, observing things. But then the sun is dealing with connecting. The sun is dealing with being considerate of other people's emotion. The sun is how it's going to look. The sun is how we do that. Is how we go about doing the Virgo energy. So we may be connecting a lot of critique out of the name of helping people, but that might just be overdoing that energy, the Virgo energy right now. So it might be overdoing that. We want to be careful being overcritical of our goddamn self. Yo, Kendra, we're gonna have to change that. We're gonna have to change that term. That hate it here term. We're gonna have to switch that. We're gonna have to switch that up to we love it here. It's magic here. We're gonna have to switch that up, yo. Right, y'all, right. So everything works in this. The opposites is gonna help each other. Okay, be careful of heavy forms of criticism on yourself. Yeah, we're gonna be critiquing and seeing what to routine and how to reschedule things and what needs work and what needs our focus and attention for detail. We're gonna be reacting in the energy of reacting and responding to that. But as much as we could do that, we could be super critical of ourselves. That could even build up some stagnant energy a bit because it is Earth. Earth is in the present. Earth is stable, but it's this Virgo's mutable Earth, so it's trying to make the revisions. It's trying to see the details of things to see how it could keep moving, keep going. But it's so steady. It's very steady. Okay? It's very steady. So, it's what we're going to be looking at. All right? What does the full moon bring through the houses? It brings the energy of influencing us how to detach and clear our space to tidy up what we're working on, what we're scheduling and routining in this area of life. The full moon transiting these energies is going to help us to understand how this house needs to be scheduled and how this house being scheduled helps to make our creativity and dreams. In the opposite house that we have Pisces in, that we got the sun and Venus transiting in right now to help them dreams start coming into fruition, to help them dreams keep them in motion. Okay? So let's get right into it, y'all. All right. First house, Virgo rising. Okay. First house deals with your personal issues and personal insecurities, your personality, your personal outlook in the world, all your personal issues, and how you deal with people, places, and things in your personal life, how people see you personally. Okay. And right now, I call this reacting to your personal routine. So Virgo in that first house, yeah, you gonna try to see everything in this lifetime, what to work on in your personal life to help bring some structure to this reality. Okay, you manifested the Virgo rising in this lifetime by default. That just because your spirit was in that energy. It had to do some construction work with the personality and how it deals with its personal identity in this lifetime. So yeah, you could be very critical of yourself, Virgo rising. Yeah, you could overthink a lot of things in your personal life, especially when it comes to how you personally express yourself and your personal actions. But guess what? With Virgo here, Virgo influences scheduling and organization and some form of detail when it comes to your personality. So right now with the full moon transiting here, you need to make sure you're detaching and clearing your space from responsibilities that are not yours right now, Virgo rising. Responsibilities that are not yours, you need to be able to pinpoint that right now. Get that off your shoulders, especially them, because y'all have a responsibility. I'm heavy earth too, so I understand us subconsciously placing responsibilities on ourselves at times by the way that we work on things or trying to build things. But especially y'all mutable earth, y'all help more than Capricorns. Y'all help way more than Capricorns. Virgos, y'all show the world how to service. Y'all want to play parts of service to the world, and Virgo Sun, Moon, and Risings. You know, y'all play some form of service to your career, relationship, your family, or something. Capricorns is a little different. Capricorns, you know, could be business sharks. Capricorns could take a little too goddamn much at times. Capricorn could steal business ideas from their best friends and shit. So it start, we be wilding. We be trifling. We be trifling what we trying to do to build stability. Because it's cardinal Earth. It's cardinal, so it's trying to start it. It's trying to initiate. Virgo, you guys are way more analytical in the process, trying to see the details of things of how everybody else is being able to do it and work on it. But it's mutable, so it has more of an exchange. It has more of an exchange to things. So right now, Virgo rises, you know what you got going on in your first house with your personal life, the things you want to personally express to the world. Okay, and this whole house, you gonna be feeling the influences of how you need to start scheduling and routining things in your personal life. You gonna see what responsibilities is not yours, and what things in your what personal aspirations you have that do need more time, that do need to be worked on some more. So on the opposite end, we got Pisces in the seventh house, and you being influenced to pay attention to that house right now, paying attention to your relationships, and being action oriented with how you deal with others on a one-on-one level, how you connect and communicate to others on a one-on-one level, and valuing and supporting your relationships right now. You in that type of energy with all them energies in your seventh house. So the more you personally, y'all, a lot of y'all in the type of energy where y'all relationships and who you relating to right now been throwing a lot of shit in your personal life out of balance, out of whack. So you manifesting the full moon transiting your first house Virgo risings in this period point in day to help refine what's going on in the personal life, to help get your personal issues in order, so the way you could connect and have more unison with people in your relationships, these things ain't clashing as much. Now you can start to connect to some of the potential that you trying to more so cultivate with Pisces in that seventh house Virgo rising. There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of dreams that you guys aspire to connect to the external realm. There's a lot of things that y'all personally are working on to provide a service to the external realm. A lot of Virgo risings. That's how y'all view the world personally. A lot of y'all, how can I be of service to the world? How can I use my personal experiences to help build stability on top of being an example for that for the world? So yeah, we want to focus on what needs to be scheduled and routine with your personal issues to open up more portals for the dreams and the things that you want to be able to connect to the external realm. Pisces in that seventh house. All right. And just do not overdo personally expressing yourself right now. Do not do that. You want to personally refine how you personally express yourself. All right. You want to find new ways to work on your personal endeavors, your personal issues and aspirations. But feeling like you have to personally express yourself, feeling like you have to be personally seen right now, that's gonna be a heavy energy. And do not let people trickle you into that shit. Do not let any ego clashes or you feel like the way you're not being seen or your expression in some type of shape or form, or feeling like your attention, your personal outlook and how you see things right now, or your detail to things right now, Virgo rising, don't let that clash. Don't go over the tip with that right now. It's a full moon transit in your first house. Okay? Now, second house, Leo risings. I call this seeing what routine supports your values. And when you have Virgo in the second house, Virgo correlates with this house. Virgo likes this house because, you know, it's an earth house. So it's his trine house. The second house deals with how we build stability, how we build security through our value system, through connecting and cultivating our values, aka our self-esteem, what we feel like we have to offer to the world, our talents, our traits, what we're good at, what we feel like we brought here, what we feel like we have. This is what is supposed to be used to build stability in this lifetime. This is why when we in careers or in certain workspaces and whatnot that don't really resonate with what we value, we can have a lot of frustration in this area, okay? And when we look at Virgo being here, you're going to value routine and schedule and organizing. You're going to value that. You're going to value that with Virgo here. Virgo here, Leo risings, y'all understand it. You're going to subconsciously understand that some of the things, the perceptions you guys have, subconsciously you're going to understand like, all right, it's going to take an amount of work to get there, but it is what it is. It's needed. That work be needed. to have these values grow. And y'all could even jump into an energy where, you know, y'all able to connect. Y'all able to connect to learn more and gain more details on how to cultivate what is it that you want to personally express to the world. But right now, you guys got to see what routine truly supports your values. Universe got the full moon transit in your second house. First of all, the moon loves to be in this house because it loves to connect to what makes it comfortable within its physical reality, within the physical, to provide more comfortability to your physical security. All right. The second house is connecting to the earth realm and everything. So when we're looking at the earth realm, earth is always going to deal with stability. And Taurus deal with being, the Taurus constellation, the second house, you know, it deals with being comfortable within your forms of stability. So with the moon here, it wants to connect to that. It want to nurture your ideas. The moon want to nurture your form of self-esteem. The moon wants to bring out the talent. Okay? And it does it by helping you react and respond to it. But right now, we got to see how to schedule and routine those values. You're going to have some high self-esteem right now. You're going to really have a high emotion geared towards how you see yourself expressing some of your values or implementing some of your values into the world, or certain business ideas, career moves. You guys are going to be geared up for them things right now with the moon in the transit of the second house and manifesting some support. So different influences to see how to support them things. But the support is going to be through how you choose to go about scheduling, routining, and working on these things. Okay. And we got Pisces right now, the Sun and Venus right now transit in that 8th house. So this is also a highly motivating time for you right now. And you've seen a lot of different ways to work on your to cultivate, express your passions, your deep passions to the world. You've seen a lot of different ways to transform your emotions about how you feel about some of your deep passions right now. So we want to work on these values, find ways to schedule and organize these values to start bringing some of them passions to life, to start bringing some of them heavy passions that the sun is making you pay attention to. All right. AKA the sun is getting motivated right now to start feeling like it could connect these passions, okay? Because it's Pisces water, so it's not as heavy water as the 8th house of Scorpio. Is more lighter, it's more towards the horizon. So you guys is feeling like you need to connect that, but it comes from how you're going to schedule and routine your values. Opposite end. 8th house, we got motivation, passion, your deep desires and values and whatnot. I mean, 8th house, you have your deep passions, your deep motives, what's behind the scenes, all right? Your secrets, you know, your motives people don't know about. The second house is the physical security, how we become comfortable there. Our value, our self-esteem. So these things is more so dealing with the external realm, okay? So, or how we, I don't even want to say the second house dealing with the external realm, because the 1st through 6th houses is really dealing with cultivating your introspect. Then when we get 7 through 12, that's the external realm. So I really want to say second house is more so how you plant the seed for your external realm, how you plant the seed for your security. Because the highest point of the chart is the earth house, the 10th house. All right. And that is your form of stability right there. That is your foundation. That is the part of the body that rules your knees, aka what you need first to stability, to keep it sturdy, keep them legs in place, be able to walk, be able to have touch some ground. So that's what y'all dealing with right now. Y'all gonna be seeing, there's gonna be certain people, places, and things that y'all value as well, and y'all gonna be understanding how much these people, places, and things distract what you know you should be working on, scheduling and routine right now. So y'all gonna have to do some construction work in that area as well. Y'all gonna be picking up them influences, and y'all already know everything I'm saying. Y'all already know, family. Y'all already experiencing and feeling. You know, we just getting into the astrology of why you feel like that right now. So this ain't magic. We reading these energies. These energies gonna be there. All right, so we got that's for my Leo risings. For my Leo risings, now 3rd house, Cancer risings. Working on how and who you surround yourself with. Okay? So this for my Cancer risings. With that Virgo in the 3rd house, Yeah, y'all done experience situations that with your friends made you overthink. You could overthink a lot of situations with your friends. You could catch yourself overcompensating for situations with your friends in Virgo in the third house. You always trying to help and work on things for your siblings, relatives. You manifest forms of being service or support in some type of shape or form. For the that's a what kind of track is this again? It's Gonna King Kong. Darren Wells, Gonna King Kong instrumental. But Virgo, the third house be having all type of manifested situations. Cancer rises, y'all be going out y'all way to help y'all friends and compensate for y'all for things going on with y'all relatives at times and y'all siblings. Okay, then y'all start developing a real practical approach with how you communicate to people. A serious approach to how you communicate to people. A detailed approach, because you like what's coming with you? What's coming with you? Okay, what's coming with you with this relationship? All right. So in this with this type of energy, universe wants you to react and respond to seeing how you work on situations with your friendships right now. All right. So a lot of situations with your friends may be disrupting how you schedule routine and how you're able to organize things in your life right now. You have to, you know, the third house represents our familiar surroundings. All right, the people, places, and things in our familiar surroundings, and how we communicate to others. So it may be some situations dealing with how you've been communicating with what's with the people in your familiar surroundings, situations with familiar friends, siblings. All right, people in your space, and the way you've been communicating or the way you guys haven't been relating has either been disrupting schedule or the way you're trying to work on things, organize things, and now you got to develop ideas how to make sure what you're working on, what you're trying to structure. Okay, or how you're dealing with your relationships, all of that overall has to be revised right now. All of that you have to see is like Virgo in the third house. Once again, we know Virgo is a mutable earth ruled by Mercury. It also has, understand, all these houses that is transiting, we talking about that you have Virgo in here, it's going to be a lack of Venus there. It's going to be a lack of Jupiter there and lack of Neptune energy by default. All that energy is debilitated there. So with y'all friends, Virgo in the third house, with y'all friends at time, y'all could manifest situation overcompensating for your friends depending on your relationship or how you care about the relationship and whatnot. And you might have to, full moon transit in this house, you might have to have your space of detach with certain friends right now just to get your emotional stability together. Like just to get your mind together for what you want to work on right now. And you don't want to be over expressive. You want to overreact to any situations with your friends. But definitely having more of an eye of what's in your familiar surroundings as well that you can use, okay, to help your dreams and imagination in that ninth house, which right now y'all are feeling like y'all need to experience connecting y'all dreams and imagination to the external realm. Y'all need to experience. Y'all need to get more in experience in y'all dreams right now with Sun and Venus transiting y'all ninth house. Okay? We know the ninth house dealing with education experiences, all right? Forms of spirituality, how we learn from our experiences. So the sun in that house, you're going to be actually, yeah, when it comes to this house, a lot of the way you relate to others and you communicate has to be revised and reflected upon right now. Some type of shape or form, you probably could have communicated or articulated something that you're working on to others and you didn't network it. And you got to realize how to capitalize on certain opportunities with things that you're working on too as well. Okay, wherever our earth signs at, wherever our earth signs at is buffering. Let me take a little sip of that. All right. So that's what we're dealing with right there. You gotta be conscious of how you guys are putting yourself in certain spaces, to be surrounded by certain people. Whenever we have full moons or moon transit in the air house, is going to be an emphasis on our relationships in some type of shape or form. But the third house, those relationships is more so familiar relationships, our familiar friends, our siblings, or who's in our immediate space, the people in our immediate space. Okay, so how you deal with these relationships and how they affect what you working on is very important. Now, fourth house, Gemini risings. Okay, this is clearing your private space and understanding how to work on your emotions. So, with Pisces, with Virgo in the fourth house, it could be at times for you Gemini risings. It could feel like a lack of love in the home. It could feel like a strict household. All right, could be more so of a strict household. You could deal with a lot of having to be in tune with responsibilities of your family, Gemini risings. And y'all personally want to feel free, but when y'all get into that home environment, okay, a lot of the times the ways that you have to work on things in the home start affecting how you even have stability right here, or start affecting how you even able to have a peace of mind. It's like even privacy in the home, because you got Mercury influence here. If you got siblings or whatnot, or your parents or whatnot, they could be real curious about your private space, and invasion of privacy is like, damn, y'all is wildin'. Can I motherfucking write in my journal in peace? Like, you could have a journal too. I bought y'all them shits for Christmas. Use that shit. Don't be coming when I'm writing my shit. Don't be coming up all in my shit just to see how I write how you use this shit. Like, what you be writing? Like, what you just be writing about your day and this shit? Like, that's it. All right, let me read your shit. Let me see how you set it up. Like, yo, relax. Do I got to show you how to work on everything? Gemini risings. So, right now, y'all got to, first of all, y'all got to make sure y'all detaching from people, places, and things that y'all emotionally connected to. I'm even going to say detached, but, you know, get a little distant in order to support your private space right now, to recollect your emotions. But you got the full moon transit in the fourth house. It's high emotions. It's high. You may be surrounded by in your own private space, in your own home. You may be feeling jolly and great right now, and in your home, motherfuckers is in high emotion about shit going on in the house. Is in Virgo, so probably shit going on with career responsibilities, making you pay attention to responsibilities, bringing responsibilities into your motherfucking private space. So, you know, y'all got to make sure the things that's playing out as a burden with how you deal with the emotions, you got to see how to work on that right now. You got to see how to work on that. Okay? You want to deal with some patience and diligence with the people that you connected to right now. Or I should say the people you let into your private space, issues in the family home environment, your relatives, more so dumb. Okay? More so dumb. Don't let your family and home environment take you over to take you there during this transit. What was that, Kendra? I told you I was feeling it. It's a lot of career in my daily transits. Yeah. And right now, y'all got what? Y'all got the Sun and Venus transit in y'all 10th house. So a lot of y'all real focused on things dealing with career. Right now, y'all real focused on things dealing with career, seeing how to navigate things with career, how you could broadcast yourself, how people see you within the career space or within social media, within your brand, or what you want the world to see in the external realm. Like, a lot of y'all super focused on that right now, and y'all attracting support. But if we don't work on how you could schedule or organize things in a home environment, if we're not paying attention through this full moon, how you need to understand Gemini risings, how you actually need to make time and routine. What is it that you like to deal with in your private space with connecting? Because Gemini risings is air in the first house, could be a little everywhere. Your first house, your personal space, attract relationships. Your seventh house got Sagittarius, attract a bunch of experiences, adventures. So between your relationships and personal life, Virgo in the fourth house teaches y'all gotta work on scheduling your private time. You have to work on your solitude. That's what has to ground you in this lifetime, Gemini risings. Your relationships and the people you come in contact with in the external world, they gonna teach you everything you need to learn. With Sagittarius in the seventh house. All right? Yeah, I have life lessons out the ass with some relationships. So, and I'm seeing that a whole lot. I'm seeing that a whole lot with people that I'm doing readings with. Pisces, Sagittarius, heavy Jupiter influence in the seventh house. Yeah, you soaking up a whole lot in your relationships. Experience one relationship, gain so much out of it. Jupiter gonna expand on everything. One relationship teach you so much. You write an album about one relationship. Alicia Keys, who wrote this shit? Who wrote this shit? Kanye produced it. Kanye produced it. What's his moon sign? Pisces. What's his sun sign? Who we talking about? Gemini. Who we talking about right now? Gemini rising. So that one experience, y'all take that shit, y'all write an album about that shit. Sagittarius 7th house. But yeah. We want to make sure y'all understand y'all gotta work and schedule things in the home environment. The external realm, what's going on outside or in your neighborhood, or how active your neighborhood kept you as a Gemini rising, okay? And how active some of your friends kept your experiences in life. Yeah, situations in your home need nurture right now. You got the moon transit in the fourth house there. How you deal with your emotions need nurture right now. And it needs a practical approach towards it. You need to be serious about how you cater to your emotions. You need to be serious about what's in your private space. Clean your room up. Clean your room up. For real. Virgo in the fourth house, y'all bedrooms and shit's supposed to be neat already. That shit's supposed to be neat already. So you know you out of alignment right now if your private space is out of whack right now. You know you out of alignment. Full moon transit in fourth house, get that together. Let's get it together. All these dreams and aspirations in the 10th house, it's hard for these to come into fruition when our emotions ain't right. So now this shows you the opposite axis of the 4th and the 10th house. This shows you the opposite relationship between Cancer and Capricorn. Cancer is the emotional stability. Capricorn is the physical stability. Cancer is the moon, dealing with the emotions, nurture, affection. Capricorn is Saturn. You give a fuck about all that shit. It's about reality. It's about how the world revolves. It's about business. So now that starts showing you the difference of why they act the way they do. Show you the reason why a cancer, it's hard for them to work on things if they heart not in it. This is why for a Capricorn, they may overdo things with career and working on things because they don't see it as something I got to be connected to. I need to just work on that shit, work on it. And then things is gonna, nigga, you need to sit down and relax and feel for a little bit. You call your mother. You need to make sure that appointment. You need to make sure that appointment you schedule with your client doesn't clash with it's your brother's birthday. Your whole family going out for your brother's birthday. Why would you schedule your appointment on that same day? Make that family day. Did you have to do that? Did you have to have damn. So this is the clash between the 4th and the 10th house by default. So why by default, a lot of the things that we want to do career-wise can clash with our home environment, can have a heavy impact on our emotional stability based on how we working on it, trying to build and structure it. And then the fourth house, uh, yeah, you feel me? Them things gonna clash with each other. Or sometimes the way we feel about things and how we want to deal with our solitude and privacy, we can't just jump into that shit because of career at times. We already set up some responsibilities to build foundation. We already doing construction with things. We already got to clock in that 10th house in our earth houses. So yeah, we know you feel a way, but you gotta show the fuck up to work. We know you're experiencing a crazy ass heartbreak, and you feel me? You just want to YouTube binge and be to your own space for a couple of days to get your shit together. We know you're dealing with real life issues outside of work that affect your motherfucking emotional well being, even though you gotta come to work. You feel me? So that's that pull and tug with the fourth and 10th house. I just said in my other live streams, I'm complimenting this one of my homies, that teaches, and I'm like, yo, bro, your ability to connect your knowledge and wisdom, he got heavy Cancer energies. I'm like, boy, you be on point, son. He like, nigga, he like, nigga, I know you got heavy Capricorn energy, nigga. I be looking at you like, nigga, this nigga wake up in the morning and get them energies out. It don't matter how the fuck you feel. It don't matter what the fuck going on in your day. You go make sure you structure that shit and get it in your schedule. And we just laughing like shit. But that's the natural energies, though. That's gonna be the natural energies in that fourth house. But yeah, that's what we dealing with. Gemini risings, scheduling, organizing how you deal with your private space, and understanding how to work on your emotions. The moon deal with understanding, so you're trying to understand how to work on your emotions. All of these things ain't always. These is influences that's gonna influid, motion, vibe. So this is something you're gonna be able to pick up on, a vibe, a feeling you're gonna be able to pick up on sooner or later throughout the transit to help aid you on how to deal with these things, to help see where you are feeling unfulfilled at with these things, to see where you gotta place some more emotion at, where you or connect to, I should say. I don't want to say place so much more emotion at, and then it's like, because it's also a full moon, so be careful how we tip it over. Be careful how much emotion we put into these areas right now. But for the most part, yeah, where to get fulfilled at. Even though the full moon, we dealing with detaching and releasing, so we got to make space. So yeah, you got to see what to work on to help you make space for your private area. All right, especially with the things the people, places, and things that you don't let into your private space, that you emotionally connected to, that you intimately connected to. These things may need some work right now. So if you know you're going through some certain things in the household, and they've been weighing heavy on you, maybe some opportunities to mend that with the full moon transit in this house to help get that emotion off. We don't want it to play out as a heavy release in the home, or a heavy release with somebody you personally connected to or whatnot. All right. And then once again, you taking this time to get that together helps the pursuits in the 10th house, helps what's being built in the 10th house right now, helps you to wake up in the morning and work in the right way. Okay. And now Taurus risings, fifth house. All right, the fifth house, understanding how to routine your creative attributes. So the fifth house deals with how all forms of entertainment, how you like to be entertained. You could see a whole lot. You could see a whole lot about what type of date to have based off of somebody's fifth house. What type of movie to surprise them with. You feel me? All of that, just based off that little fifth house energy. You feel me? Get those Venus energy. They gonna like that too. But for the most part, when you look at it at the fifth house, we dealing with creative expression, entertainment, how we like to have fun, how we like to have an upbeat, lively feel to life, how we like to feel like we living, what we like to put on the stage for people to see. Okay, it's the home of the sun, and it's dealing with expression. So, but huge emphasis on creative and artistic expression. All the earth houses is going to deal with creative expression by default. All fire signs is going to deal with creativity by default, because that's the fire energy. That's the fire energy. All right, making sure something could be seen or felt from what I seen and felt. but I know how to make y'all see it though. I know how to make y'all see and feel that shit. So, transiting full moon transiting this house, when it comes to the way you feel like expressing yourself and the things that you're creatively into with the full moon transit in the fifth house, you have to see how you have to make time to work and schedule these things. You have to see what's coming and what be in the way, what you giving too much time to or whatever that's not being able to help you give time to what it is you do want to express to the world, what it is you do want to put on the stage. All right, the full moon bringing high emotion here. So you're going to feel like you need to dive more into your creative endeavors. You're going to feel like you need your form of expression to be seen some more right now. So be careful with the ways that you express yourself with this being a full moon, but direct some of that energy and getting more in tune with your Virgo in the fifth house, being real critical about the way that you deal with your creative expression. You look at Earth through them Earth houses, all Earth risings, they it differs. So let me not actually, but in some type of shape or form, Earth through the fire houses look at their creativity as something to use and build. It goes in different ways though for all of them. But Taurus rising with Virgo in the fifth house, creative expression need to have a standard of perfection for Taurus rising. The things that I creatively express to the world, I gotta put some type of real time into it. You subconsciously understand that. So the things that you are creatively into, it's time to buckle some more down on how that's being scheduled and routine. Because what we got in the 11th house, we got Pisces, Sun and Venus transit in there. So you really want to be able to connect your creativity into the external realm right now. You're developing a lot of different creative outlooks on how you can network and associate your creativity right now. So with the moon transit in the fifth house, we have to be able with that. Whatever craft that is that you want to connect, that has to be scheduled right now. We have to make sure we know how much time we giving that every week, how much hours going into, whatever the creative expression is, and making sure we have a different outlook on how we deal with scheduling and routining. Because when we can say the fifth house, fire houses is influencing us to see certain things as well. So it's a whole lot of looking at the potential of things that you want to put in the light. Full moon transiting in the fifth house. It's a whole lot of creativity that you may feel like you haven't been expressing that needs to be seen right now. Okay? But there's a whole lot of work that may be having to be established. There's a routine that might really need to be established right now for how you deal with these things. And I had also written down making time for how you have fun in a way. Full moon transit in the fifth house the moon is going to react and respond to wanting to connect to a more lively feel to life. It wants to deal with some sunlight. It wants to deal with things that entertain it. It might want to feel like entertaining itself, like I said. So, making sure that associations, what you got going on in the external realm, a lot of that energy might be super consuming how you're even able to tap into dealing with your own energies as well. So, a lot of these transits is opposite. So a lot of what we want to connect to is going to clash with that opposite house. So we seeing how to make it connect. So making sure how you dealing with your own creative endeavors personally is going to help you to understand how to continue to network and associate, your creativity in the 11th house and how you're able to creatively network with others. You got to make sure your creativity is on point as far as what you're doing to support it, as far as what you're doing to support what you're working on routine-wise. All right? Now, Aries rising, 6th house. When we look at the 6th house is how we schedule, routine, organize. Is the energy that gave birth to Virgo. This is where Virgo was derived from. So when we look at the 6th house, after we deal with what we feel like we have to offer to the world, when we establish that in the 2nd house, what do I have? When we establish that in the 2nd house, the 6th house is like, all right, how do we follow it up with some consistent work? How do we structure it? How do we build upon it? How do we keep that in motion? So we got the 6th house dealing with all of them energies, dealing with the workplace and career, and we also dealing with, your regiment, diet, your fatigue, all of that in the 6th house. Your health. So for you Aries risings with Virgo in the 6th house, this is where y'all get into going to work to things. Natural influence of Virgo in this house. So yeah, as much as you understand work and a routine
is needed, you subconsciously understand it. But being of Aries rising, you also perceive life as personally expressing yourself on the go, having that outlook and running for it. Full moon transiting the sixth house right now, Aries rising. It's time for y'all to understand what all these new feelings and influences y'all been dealing with this past couple of months, because y'all been catching the Aries constellation, Aries sun moon risings. You know, y'all been dealing with as far as Mars, your house lord, and Taurus. There's been a lot of new influences that y'all been catching, and new creative ways of doing things, new realizations about yourself. It's time to get grounded right now. I called this grounding yourself through a refined routine. Grounding yourself through a refined routine. So that's what y'all want to keep in mind. As excited y'all could be for things right now, the more that could blossom out of them as this full moon is transiting the sixth house, and you get settled with what you want to put in order, and you also make sure what's distracting routine. This transit, more than a lot of others, need to understand that you may have some things really throwing your routine, or what needs to be worked on off whack, because it's specifically transiting your sixth house as a Virgo rising. All right, so it's like we need to get that together, Aries rising. I said as a Virgo rising, Aries rising, excuse me. All right. So we dealing with that energy, and you guys have to be real mindful of your health, of your how much you're sleeping, or how lackadaisical you are with your work ethic. Like both spectrums. How much you haven't been working on what needs to be in your routine, or you overwhelming yourself on working on things and having to learn how to work smarter right now. Ooh, Aries, yeah, Aries rising, y'all gotta learn how to work smarter right now. Full moon transit in your second house. And full moon transit in here, y'all could just really feel a lot of emotions pent up from the career area, like from routine and scheduling. A lot of y'all may have been heavy in that energy already, and you got full moon transiting here to influence you to learn how to work a little smarter, develop a better routine to curate your energy and how you exerting yourself. Because Aries in the first house, Aries is that constellation in that first. Just being the Aries rising, your vitality is super high. You guys have a different type of endurance, and I'm a Libra, so when I'm around Aries sun moon rising, especially if you are Aries sun, I can naturally pick up on your energy more than a lot of signs, because you my opposite. So your energy triggers me when you around your opposite sign. Their energy gonna have a dynamic feel to you. If y'all haven't picked that up, if you ever dated, it don't even matter. You could have dated your opposite sign. You could have dated your opposite sign, and and it was great. Like, it was great compatibility and everything. And in some type of shape or form, they trigger something in you. That opposite clash. It's like, damn, this is a whole nother ballpark. Something about your energy when you come in contact with this person. So when I be around you, Aries, y'all be charging me up. I just be around y'all be having me feel like, yeah, I need to do way more tomorrow. I need to do way more when I wake up tomorrow. Like, I'm chilling too much. But y'all need to give me some of that vitality. The sun dead over here. The sun, us Libras need us Aries. Y'all be we clash heavy though. Some Libras and Aries, they go, ooh, Aries. And I tweeted the other day, Aries be bullying Libras. Aries, stop bullying Libras. Stop that. You're taking advantage. Like, it take a lot to get our back against the wall. It take a lot. And them early degree Aries is hella playful. So they could be nagging. The young Mars be naggy. So, yeah, routine is heavy. Period. Transit in the sixth house. That's heavy. Period. Right now. All right, and that's gonna help for a lot of what I just said yesterday about y'all. I said yesterday, y'all feeling limitless right now. I got the Sun and Venus. Y'all really feel like y'all have the limitless pill right now. With Sun and Venus transiting your 12th house. Y'all seeing endless possibilities. Y'all having way more belief and faith and influences to support your dreams more than ever. That shit is gonna stay in the script. It's not going. It's going. The Limitless movie going to stay in the script and not turn into a real movie if we not reacting and responding to our forms of schedule and routine. It took us. The writers of that movie and the actors, that came in a process. It came through a schedule. Somebody had the schedule of writing the script. Then we had to get the motherfucking cast together. We had to organize that. Then we had to schedule motherfucking takes and doing the movie. So yeah, all that, that's what the 6th and the 12th house is teaching each other. Virgos look at Pisces like, ooh, you creative, but you like so much stability. That shit gonna stay up there. A Virgo, that's their mindset coming around a certain Pisces. Pisces come around a Virgo like, this person too stiff for me. Person bring me down. I hear the words we use, y'all. You gotta hear the words we be using. This motherfucker bring me down. Yeah, bring your ass down to earth. That's what our opposite signs be helping us with. We do, and this is why when you date your opposite sign, a lot of the time it's gonna be an extreme. It's gonna be a relationship of extremes, because yeah, you giving me what I need. You showing me what I need. You showing me how to balance my energies. You showing me the other side of town. But at the same time, I know I'm doing it to you too. So this is where the sun starts to clash, because it starts to feel like, no, you need to see my side. No, you need to see my side. No, you need to see my side. Y'all both right. Y'all both right. Y'all are actually both right. But damn, can y'all have a conversation? But damn, can y'all have a peace of mind to settle it? To let the opposites give each other what they need to give each other? So you can have high attraction, high clashes. Opposite energy is going to have a whole bunch of, it can manifest, opposite energies will manifest, what's the name? A toxic, high, sexually stimulated situationship in a minute. Especially certain axes. The Virgo Pisces axis, that one get crazy. Let me see. The Gemini Sag axis, oh man. Oh man. The Gemini Sag axis. Y'all relationships is a movie. Y'all relationships is a movie. You feel me? They ain't know what's going on. Got the macabre in the building. So yeah, that's what we dealing with. Aries risings. Alright, Aries risings. That routine gonna take them dreams to new heights. Have you done Aquarius rising? Nah, not yet. Wait, did I? I'm bugging out. No. Yeah, nah. So y'all eighth houses. So we on the sixth, finishing up the 6th house. So that's what y'all want to keep in mind. That you settling down a little bit, Aries rising. And if you are Aries rising and you got a lot of your sun moon got heavy air or got heavy fire, you definitely need to sit down a bit right now. So all these new influences and new feelings and new creative ways of seeing and doing things could harness and start to build a foundation in some type of way, realistically. Because y'all on the limitless pill. Okay, so that's what we dealing with. Now, the Pisces risings, 7th house. 7th house. Now, this is called understanding your time invested into others and scheduling your friendships. So when we look at Virgo in the 7th house, have you done Virgo rising yet? Nah, that's the last one. Excuse me, that was the first one. Yeah, that was the first one, but y'all can rewind if y'all got here. So when we look at 7th house for you Virgo Pisces risings, okay, you got Virgo in that 7th house. So when Earth is in the 7th house, is a sense of work, is a sense of trying to organize and feel a sense of stability in your relationships.
And Pisces, personally, you know, the way you personally express yourself is real open-hearted, have a real compassionate outlook to the world. Depending on the environment a Pisces is in, depending on a environment a Pisces rising, and we could correlate this to water signs and air signs. Because we all products of our environment, but when water signs is around real crazy environments, traumatic environments, you know, the way that you deal with the emotions could get real toxic because you're soaking. So Pisces risings, what's in that fourth house? Pisces, Gemini. Yeah. So I get manipulated in the home. If you get manipulated, lied to, mind games in the home and shit. A lot going on in the home. Fast paced in the home. People in and out the home. Maybe a whole lot of siblings, but a whole lot of relatives in and out, distant relatives. But when we talk about Virgo in that seventh house, with the full moon transiting here, by default, Pisces risings, you can overcompensate with your relationships. Go out your way to service and take the responsibility in your relationships. And sometimes you manifest the right pocket for that, because that's your nature. These energies are in nature. It's helping us gauge it, match it with the other energies, and get aligned with other energies. All right? There's going to be certain... We all want to be in a state of evolving, but that's your nature, Pisces rising. You want to personally connect. And then when it gets to Virgo in the seventh house, you be making your relationships a duty, a responsibility. The people that you really connected to. So with the full moon transit here, reacting and responding to how you're working on your relationships, how much time invested into some of your relationships, you gotta be able to see which relationships is worthy of the percentage of that right now. Because guess what? You got the Sun and Venus transiting your first house. So what was we saying yesterday? This is your time to personally shine right now. This is the time to get personal aspirations and the way you want to personally express yourself implemented more into reality right now. And you're valuing and appreciating your dealing with your personal issues and your personal endeavors and pursuits right now. Venus is bringing all type of self-esteem into the first house. So in the seventh house, the way you choose to schedule how you connect and relate to others and who you surround yourself with and your relationship issues, that has a lot to do with what's going to bring some of the personal dreams to help give that more energy right now, to help balance that right now, to help you create more space for you to personally do your thing. Because you can be overwhelmed with your relationships a lot of the time. Once again, feel like you always got to work on your relationships. So this is what we want to understand with the full moon transiting here. This could be high emotion in your relationships right now. So you gotta be understanding and patient dealing with your connect with your relationship. And even if you feel like you got a lot to express right now, doing that gotta be done in a wise way. Doing that gotta be done in a wise way. All right. Even if it's like, you know, it's not a blow up expression where you like, fuck it, I want this shit to be over in my relationship. But more like, nah, I really need you to see how I feel right now. Like I really need you to understand how I really feel right now. A lot of y'all may really need to get that off in your relationship right now, full moon in the seventh house. So the way you go about it, be real wise and cautious with it, or you may just want to let this full moon, you may just want to take my advice and maybe just let this full moon pass, all right? And then early next week, you know, send a little text and check the energy a little bit when the moon get into Libra. You feel me? When the moon transit in Libra, all right, we could connect and relate and articulate ourselves a bit more. The shit is in Virgo right now, so we got to organize and schedule it. We got to be in the internal. Earth is internal. You feel me? So it's like we got to make sure we get that right, how we practicalizing it, how we choose to routine and schedule and set appointments with what's going on in these areas of life. And when it comes to full moon transit in the seventh house, the time invested into others right now has a lot to do with what you're trying to personally pay attention to and take action on. So that needs some energy with how you're gonna organize that over the weekend. All right. Now, Aquarius risings, 8th house. This is understanding how to schedule. Yeah, understanding how to schedule your motives and passions. I put in parentheses, detaching from desires. It's another thing, full moon transiting the 7th house. Excuse me. Another thing transiting in the 7th house, Pisces risings. What's the name? You could overdo being on top of others in your relationship as well. Be careful of that. You need to pay attention to your personal issues. Paying attention to your personal issues is going to help you balance this time, but organizing and practicalizing how you deal with others throughout the weekend is going to help. Don't want to overdo anything with connecting to others. Aquarius rising, 8th house, understanding how to schedule your motives and passions and detach. So just like I'm telling 7th house, there might be some relationships you got to detach from. It's a full moon we got to release. When we talk about Aquarius risings, Virgo in that 8th house, okay, I got this placement. This is my reading. So with the full moon transit in the 8th house, you have to understand the 8th house deals with all the energies behind the scenes, secrets, your deep motives, your deep desires, all right? Transformation, the occult, the esoteric world and all that, taboo forms of spirituality, other people's resources. And the moon is very uncomfortable transiting here. This is a heavy water current for it. So the moon like water, but with the moon transiting this heavy ass current, it ain't the easiest travel. It's reflecting and responding to a lot of darker energies, a lot of things that we keep behind the scenes, a lot of heavier emotions, probably some emotions we was trying to bury for the week or bury for the year or bury for the past couple of years. It finds its way to swim up and catch our attention a bit when the moon is transiting the 8th house. So right now, we understand the 8th house also deal with your deep passions and motives. So the full moon transiting this energy is helping you to understand how to schedule and routine for these things, your deep passions and motives. You're already subconsciously trying to do that. Understand how to do that, Aquarius. A lot of y'all manifest a lot of Aquarius risings by default. Manifest a lot of spiritual work or career work dealing with the occult. Having Earth in your water houses. Feel me? You got Virgo in the 8th. Got Cap in the 12th. You got and what's the name? Taurus in the 4th. So not only you feel like you gotta work on the emotions, when you're dealing with your forms of creativity, you start looking at that as like, nah, I ain't gonna be just sinking into certain feelings and emotions. This shit gonna build some form of stability. I'm gonna have to use this to build in some type of shape or form in this lifetime. And you may be real passionate at this time. This may be a real passionate time, and the moon is full. So when you got a full moon transiting an uncomfortable yet passionate 8th house, impulsive expression, you might express some emotion you ain't know you even had right now. It's like, damn. I was watching the reading board. I was good. Like, I was really straight. I'm like, shit. Like, I really don't feel that pent up or anything. Like, and something pulls some emotion out your ass tomorrow around this time. Something pulls some emotion out your ass during tomorrow afternoon before you go to sleep. All right. Something make you pay attention to something you wasn't paying attention before, but you was feeling on it, but you ain't was really giving it time like that. So could be as passionate. We could all be as passionate as we want to be. In some type of shape or form, our passions is gonna need a routine. We're gonna have to learn the Aquarius rises. You're gonna have to learn to align your passions into some form of routine with Virgo in the 8th house. Okay. And for a lot of the times, y'all do get busy in the dark. We know Aquarius has a real individual mystique to it, a real unique mystique to it. When we talk about the Aquarius constellation period, sun, moon, and rises. All right. So when we're looking at
when we're looking at the 8th house, Virgo in there, when it goes about your deep motives and passions, shit, you are calculating, and but you will calculate the fuck out some shit behind the scenes. Have all different type of strategies being developed all behind the scenes. But right now, as passionate as you may be, and with what you got going on with the second house, with the Sun and Venus transit in the second house, yeah, the Sun and Venus, just like Aries rising, I said Aries rising got the Sun and Venus transit in the 12th house, and right now they on the limitless pill. Sun and Venus transit in the second house, y'all on the limitless pill too. The whole world is under energies that's making us feel like we could create anything up this motherfucker right now. The whole world is laughing at people that's having others make you feel like you're not capable right now. If anything, there's a more majority of the world getting into arguments, debates in this moment right now, defending what they value, defending what they love, and you feel me? That's that Sun and Venus energy. You got that shit changing in your second house. Venus got all type of self-esteem and your creativity, what you feel like you can offer to the world. So right now, the moon transit in the 8th house, it's time to cater to your emotions as you proceed to, plant new seeds and tackle new aspirations. But that needs to be worked on, and your emotional stability needs to be worked on right now. All right? So, yeah, deal with some solitude, deal with some meditation, meditate on this full moon for real, for real. Because the 8th house be shit that's in the dark. So the full moon is transiting here to let you know, yeah, these emotions need some attention right now. Things that's playing out on you as a burden right now need some attention right now. Okay? And connecting to heavy desires right now, be careful. Full moon transit in the 8th house. Because you're feeling hella passionate over this weekend and getting too deep, dark, and nasty. You asking for some extra transformation during the. Don't let nobody take you to places you don't know right now. Don't allow nobody put you in those situations in the dark right now. Shit. Allow this transit to have you be put in the light about shit you was in the dark about. Because that's a lot of that's gonna happen. So allow that to happen. Don't be so passionate and exert a certain amount of energy, and now things that you wanted to keep in the dark, that shit in the light now. It's like, damn, I wasn't even ready to express that, but goddamn, I should have remembered the full moon's transit in my 8th house. 8th house, Scorpio moons, moon in the 8th house, they don't really know how to deal with expressing their emotion. They don't really know how to deal with connecting their emotion. So it's like when we talk about we in a debilitation and fall series right now on my YouTube. So when we look at the moon ain't debilitated. It's in its fall state. So the sun fall in Libra, it's in its fall state there, it's in the subconscious realm there. All right, it's in its illusions and shit there. It's getting rest there. We could say that. It's sleeping there. When the moon is in 8th house, it's sleeping there. It's resting there. It's in the subconscious there. It's playing out illusions there. So, Virgo moon 8th. I feel like I'm going to be feeling like I have Virgo sun in the 8th. Oh, yeah. You got Virgo sun in the 8th. So, when the moon transits and makes contact with your sun, you're going to feel like expressing. Anything that comes in contact with the moon is going to feel. Anything that comes in contact with the sun is going to want to get pushed out, expressed, or put into the light. So right now, they know chill this weekend. Chill. Get them burdens out on your own right now. All right? Get them burdens out on your own right now. Because you can feel passionate about telling somebody what they need to work on right now. You can feel passionate about that because you're already a Virgo sun. So the way you express yourself is seeing the details of things. The way you see things, you could see as soon as you got on, the first thing you notice, like, okay, Boro got his do-rag on straight today. That shit not crooked all the way to the side. The way the shit be. Like, this is the first thoughts coming into your head, or analyzing, picking up right away where we at, what house we at. It's like, okay, I don't even need to ask. He said this word. I heard that word right away. So as a Virgo, we had to have been on this house at this time.
So you just come up, you just came into the chat seeing all the details of things because it's how you see things. And on top of that, you got the sun in the 8th house. So when I was talking earlier, I was just talking earlier saying how sun signs, sun and water signs, they read behind the lines. They see behind the lines. Mercury in water, they think they read and think behind the lines too. So sun in the 8th house gonna see some shit that's in the dark. Sun in the 8th house gonna see some shit people ain't paying attention to. Sun in the 8th house gonna be a master investigator. Sun in the 8th house gonna be a master. Is gonna know how to expose something. It's gonna know how to put things into awareness for people. And that's why y'all go through a lot of transformation. Because the way y'all express yourself could be woo. It could be sun in the 8th house. The way y'all express yourself come out in extremes. But when we talk about the moon in the 8th house, people that got the moon in the 8th house in their natal, the way they deal with their emotions is in the extreme. On a positive and negative level, they do things that they didn't even know they could do. On a positive and negative level, they do things that they didn't know they was incapable of. So a Scorpio moon, or a moon in the 8th house, they tend to feel way more comfortable being to their own because they done been in situations where they allowed others to take their emotions somewhere that they didn't know that shit could go. They didn't know that shit could go there because they moon in the dark. They don't know. The moon deal with reacting and responding. Overall, the moon deal with reacting and responding. So when it's in Scorpio, the 8th house, that shit might not, the emotions just might not get responded there. Like you may ask a question, you may ask a question this week, you might not get the answer till, next season, next fall equinox. I'd be so shocked about it. Right. That's the fall state. That's why this debilitation fall state series I'm doing. That's why it's important, because that helps us understand it. Like, damn, that's why I deal like that. Deal with my emotions like that. That's why I express myself like that. That's why, like, it's in the subconscious. So just like how when you're in your subconscious, when you're dreaming, and there's all type of shit going on in your dreams that you never thought you could do, that you feel like doing in reality, and in your dreams you actually doing, and you like, I knew I could do it. Or like, all them type of emotions, you go through all them type of emotions with the emotions, with the moon in 8th house, moon in Scorpio. Okay, so when we look at this transit, just be mindful of catering to your emotions in solitude if you have to get them heavy energies together, get them emotions together, get your deep passions together. Understand how you're dealing with your deep desires, and understanding where you may have been placing too much deep desire in certain places, and how you need to be careful with that right now and regulate that. Okay? And shift some of that heavy energy to some positive passion that you could cultivate it into something. Okay? So that's what we're working on. That's what we're working on right now with the moon transiting this house. And what I put, you got that second house. Like I said, you're on the limitless pill with the sun and Venus in the second house. You trying to garden, a second house off rip. That's you got the 8th house behind the scenes, second house the garden. Everything is connected. So if you see a flower, that's Taurus energy. Fixed earth. This is planted. Beautiful. All right? But that shit planted, though. That shit stabilized in some type of shape or form. Scorpio's all them fucking roots that you don't see to that flower. Scorpio's all the many transformations that flower had to go through that wasn't seen before this thing blossomed. Scorpio is the depth to this flower. Okay? That's what Scorpio is. But it's still connected. It's still connected. That's still a part of the flower. That shit has everything to do with the flower. You can't Google flower and that shit not have a definition with the motherfucking roots and saying it's connected to the ground and the seed blossom, the transformations to it. So that shows you right there. This is the opposite axis of Scorpio and
This is the opposite axis of Scorpio and Taurus in the second house and the eighth house. When we value something in the second house, when we come into this world seeing that what understanding what we have to offer and how we want to be able to provide some stability in our life based off of that, when we start working on that, you want to be a singer, you want to be a rapper, you want to be a scientist, you want to be a teacher, you want to be whatever, you know, you value. That's your second house. That's what you feel like you have to offer to the world. Understand, you're going to clash with the eighth house. Understand, you're going to clash with having to transform your emotions through the process. Understand that. Understand you got to match your passion with what you value. You could value something all day and not have your passion aligned with it, aka Venus square Mars, Venus opposite Mars in the chart. Okay, so right now, like that's what the Taurus and Scorpio teach each other. Scorpio teaches Taurus to have more depth beyond what's in the physical reality, and Taurus is teaching Scorpio. Scorpio is teaching Taurus to have more depth amongst things going on in physical reality, just being physically secure. What about being emotionally secure? And Taurus is like, I ain't fuck all that emotionally secure shit. I need my physical reality together. And then Taurus is telling Scorpio, shit, get out your shell. You sinking on into all that heavy ass water down there. What is you really doing down there? You just sinking into that heavy ass current all day. What you experience in the physical realm? Get out and go on a date and experience that shit. Experience connecting in the physical realm. You need to experience that shit, Scorpio. Because guess what? That's part of your life path. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Risings. Bringing that heavy energy up into something positive. Cultivating it into something positive, all right? Dealing with heavy transformations and making it something that the world could see you for. Of how you dealt with that triumph. How you dealt with them situations in your life. So, you know, that we could, yeah, we're gonna have to do an opposite sign, opposite house series, but so that's what you're dealing with full moon transit in the eighth house. Okay, ninth house, Capricorn risings. All right, this is developing a wiser routine. So the ninth house deals with experiences. The ninth house is the house of education, aka the house of enlightenment. The ninth house deals with how we develop our own morals and ethics and perspectives to life based off of our experiences and the energies you have in your ninth house. You're going to be learning a whole lot about it. So with Virgo in the ninth house, guess what, Capricorn risings? You're learning a whole lot about how to structure what you're learning in this lifetime. So you could try to, Capricorn risings, their personal outlook in life is how to bring some structure to their personal life and how to navigate the physical realm. Elena, what's going on, Elena? Shout out to the Patreon gang. Y'all already know what it is, man. We getting into it tomorrow with our monthly class, breaking down aspects and all that. Okay. So, you know, that's that. But when we get into the ninth house, when you get into the ninth house deals with how you learn from your experiences. And with Virgo in here, this is you learning about the Virgo energy in your ninth house. Okay? So as a Capricorn rising, trying to work on bringing personal stability and personal structure into your life, this experience, with Virgo in the ninth, you got to understand the things that you got to take all your experiences from your jobs. You got to take all your experiences from different routines and different ways of working on things throughout your life in order to take that experience and make sure them things is not just, they don't just stay in the past. You got to make sure them things that you're always working on towards your big goal or towards your huge personal aspirations, it was always gems to extract from the many moments. From them times in life working on this, that, and the third. From that pizzeria you worked at, from that fast food place you worked at, boom, boom, boom. You have all these huge aspirations or whatnot. You want to bring structure. You have a lot of Capricorn risings going to have a personal form of, what's the name, of status that they want to obtain or a form of stability that they'd like to obtain. All right? And, you know, with this type of energy, transiting in the ninth house, you in a state of understanding right now that you have accumulated a certain form of a certain amount of wisdom right now, and you should understand, okay, how you should be being wiser about what needs to be scheduled and worked on. So this may be a real timeout for y'all. This may be a real weekend for y'all to meditate on that. Meditate, look at the things that you're working on that you want to experience. All right? With your ninth house energies, the things you want to adventure and create for yourself in this lifetime, the way you see yourself experiencing things, ninth house. We want to recollect on the wisdom that we already have to understand how we should start putting things in place right now. Because the full moon in ninth house is showing you, is here to help you understand that. It's help you understand you have some knowledge and wisdom to apply to how you should be working on things right now. Okay? Especially on your creative attributes and forms of expression. This is a fire house. It's a full moon. This is not a time to get into ego debates, ego clashes, defending your knowledge and wisdom to others, defending your detail to others right now is not the time for that, especially transit in this ninth house. Okay? So be careful of that. Now, and then once again, y'all got Pisces in the third house. So you got the Sun and Venus in your third house. So the emphasis right now could be in relationships. The emphasis could be a little tangled up in relationships right now. It could be some things going on with you connecting to others right now. And a little bit of love and feeling mixed up with maybe some familiar people coming back to play that was a little distant before. So you gotta be conscious of all that and be wise with all of that energy right now. All right? So and you understanding that you have certain knowledge and wisdom already with the full moon transit in the ninth house is helping you to understand how you could take your dreams and imagination and relate that more to your community, to the collective, to others that surrounded by you. How you could be able to communicate that more with the Sun and Venus transiting your third house. Now, when we look at 10th house, Sagittarius risings, this is understanding how to develop social status and stability through routine. So when we look at Virgo in the 10th house deals with your social status, how you rise to a status, how you broadcast it to the world, the highest point of the chart. So it's how you're naturally seen, your reputation, all right? The reputation you develop through things that you've worked on in your life, some of your career pursuits. So with the moon transiting here, you're being influenced to react and respond to how you're working and structuring on these things. Okay? You could have a lot of emotion geared right now towards how you feel like you want to be seen, how you feel like you want to be broadcasted to the world right now. And Sun and Venus transit in the fourth house. You're dealing with some real creative energies with Sun and Venus transiting there. But we know the emphasis for your fourth house right now, Sagittarius risings, is making sure y'all cater to the feelings and emotions as well. Making sure y'all paying attention to how you're expressing them at the moment and how you're, taking action on dealing with your private space. Taking action on things that or gaining awareness on the things that the people, places, and things that you're emotionally connected to. So when we talk about what's the name, when we talk about this moon transit in the 10th house, you taking the time to organize how you're going to routine and structure things, dealing with career, helps ease things with how you're able to find some emotional stability, all right, on the opposite axis. Helps you to be able to see how to correlate things in the home. So it's like everything correlates we dealing with opposite energies. We got to make these opposite energies align on full moons. So you just having this energy transit your 10th house, understanding how you're going to continue to work on creating a foundation and forms of stability for yourself, and understanding, okay, that's still, I know I got to pay attention to these issues in my fourth house right now. I know there's a lot of things that I'm dealing with the people, places, and things I'm really connected to right now in the moment. So, finding ways to navigate around that with still dealing with your career pursuits. You're going to have energies that you may need to cut off and detach from to help burden some responsibilities that's not yours right now. Full moon transit in the 10th house. The moon also don't like to be in the 10th house. So let's say that as well. The moon don't like to transit the 10th house. Is debilitated here, is opposite from home, from the fourth house, where it's the most comfortable at. So you could even feel right now like your emotions you could subconsciously have a guilt right now, feeling like your emotions is not where it's supposed to be. by default. Moon transit in the 8th house Aquarius risings and moon transit in the 10th house Capricorn risings by default can feel like excuse me, not yeah, 8th house Aquarius risings and 10th house Sag risings by default could feel like, what's the name? Your emotions is in the wrong place. And more so with the 10th house is gonna be a tug and it could be a tug of war a little bit between family, home environment, and the things that the responsibilities that you have. So you just want to see how to clear that space as much as possible. You're gonna be real geared towards seeing new influences and wanting to connect to how you're working on things, career pursuits, especially. This is the type of energy right now. Y'all gonna catch new influences of understanding a form of stability you can manifest, understanding how you can navigate career in a certain way, but you're gonna know that it's gonna have to follow with a certain routine. There's certain things, there's certain career pursuits you have right now, business pursuits you have right now, and you ain't been working on it. You ain't been scheduling routine in that. So the full moon in Virgo in your 10th house, yeah, it's time to get to that. It's time to get to that, Sag risings. All right? You don't want these energies to keep eating at you. You see yourself projected in a certain way. You see yourself broadcasting yourself to the world in a certain way. And the full moon transiting here is reminding you that this area needs some work. This area doesn't have a refined routine. And then you don't want this energy to pass and not follow up on how you structure that some more, how you see the detail to how you understand some more how people see you. So this is also another energy when you're connecting to others, understanding more of the connection or feel you already have to others instead of even practicalizing so much. Understand how you can connect to the collective. Because once again, we got the highest point of the chart. So when we're dealing with these high energies, 7th through the 12th house is dealing with the collective. It's dealing with the external realm. So the 7th house is dealing with how we start connecting to others on a one-on-one level. That's where it starts, the 7th house. That's when we take our personality and learn how to connect it to others in a one-on-one level. When we get to the 8th house, this is how we learn how to deal with transformation of the emotions with connecting to others. When we get into the 9th house, this is how we learn to extract wisdom from our experiences in the external realm. And experiences in life, period, and how we able to connect that awareness into the external realm in some type of shape or form. And make something out of ourselves. Create new experiences out of the things that we come in contact and experience in the external realm. And school and education and foreign, and also deals with 9th house rules long distance travel. Okay, it rules long distance travel. So off rip external realm. 10th house, highest point of the chart, how you broadcast it to the world, your social status, your form of stability, career, your foundation, your needs to stand on. All right, that's external realm, how others see you. That's your social projection. Sometimes that shit ain't got shit to what you even correlate in your. Sometimes your social status, how people see you, you don't even be realizing that's how people see you. It's like, damn, I really be doing this at home, and when I'm not at work or whatever, I didn't know y'all really see me like that. But like, okay. So is social. Tell how gonna be your natural social status and reputation, and how you're able to rise to certain positions within career. This is how we look. This is why we look at the house lord of the 10th house. That's how we activate that. Activate how we are able to work with a certain energy to build social status here. And then when we look at the 11th house is how we network, associate. The 11th house deal with the unknown, familiar. So this is how we're able to connect to people we don't know. Technology, social media, and then 12th house, that's the subconscious realm. That's the dream world. But it also deals with the emotion and the collective soul as a whole. The emotion of the collective as a whole. How you connect to the collective through the subconscious. How you feel for the collective. How you have compassion dealing with others and connecting how you feel and your experiences and your belief system and how that all plays a part with the collective. That's the 12th house. So that whole shit is external. And when you looking at 10th house right now, full moon transit here, you seeing all different type of you're picking up on not only seeing, but you also picking up on influences of you understanding what needs structure and what needs to be routine to start implementing that social status or the way you want to be seen or the way you want to broadcast yourself or career, or ways that you navigate in career. All right. Now, 11th house, Scorpio risings. This is understanding how to schedule associates and connect to the collective. Say that too fast, turn into a tongue twister. So understanding how to schedule associates and connect to the. Excuse me, y'all. I ain't know my phone has a low battery. Gonna wrap up these two houses. Damn, the full moon. Some heavy energies. I think we about to go for a good 2 and change or something. I'll charge that. So when we look at the 11th house, where we at? Scorpio risings. Understanding how to schedule amongst your associates and how to connect to the collective. All right. So right now you're being influenced to react and respond to the groupings that you're a part of, the associations, organizations that you're a part of, and understanding how to routine and schedule amongst your associates and what you got going on in your external realm, what you got going on with your with things going on in career and your coworkers, what you got going on with your extracurricular activities that's, you have to deal with in some type of shape or form because of certain issues that it just became responsibilities or things that you connected to. Or right now, the full moon here, you need to learn how to schedule all of that. Scheduling, organizing, how we dealing with 11th house people. And 11th house people may just be people that we just have to work with. 11th house people may be people that's just tied into things with career or with building, with networking. So we're having a new influence with the full moon transiting here of how to connect to others and also how to understand, because it's an air house dealing with relationships, associates, business partnerships in particular. With the full moon transiting in this house, you're understanding how to connect and network a bit more now. You're understanding how to utilize a certain social media platform, or how to utilize a certain different way of branding yourself, or how to utilize all different type of ways right now that you could start working on to see how to connect to others right now. So y'all picking up on that influence, but shit, is a full moon. So it's going to be some things that you may need to detach and release from when it comes to certain people that you'll be associated with. This energy right now, this ain't the weekend to just be associating yourself with anybody. You around people you don't know. You just doing things. You allowing one friend to just take you on a whole journey with a bunch of other people you don't know. Nah, not this weekend. Full moon transit in 11th house. I'm gonna sit back and organize and schedule how I'm dealing with the associates I'm already involved with this motherfucker. I'm about to sit back and organize and schedule how I'm gonna work on some of the fruitful relationships that I feel like, or some of the people in my life that I'm dealing with, working with right now, and I see potential for this to actually turn into a fruitful community, a fruitful relationship, a fruitful partnership or something, all right? Or I'm going to sit back and organize and schedule a different way to work on how I can connect what I'm working on into the collective, all right? And how I'm dealing with who I'm associated around. So full moon transit, this energy could also be an influence to really, you probably really have been associating yourself with the wrong people right now. You got to understand how to detach from that. You're in 11th house and you got a bunch of friends just correlating your schedule in some type of shape or form. It's like, goddamn, how the fuck my friends should be dictating my schedule, like Virgo in the 11th house, or a bunch of shit that I'm involved in the outside world in some type of shape or form. I didn't get to schedule my day the right day, and all of that shit ended up taking up all my time, and I didn't really get to do anything I wanted to do today. So you gotta check that shit too. Why is the external realm taking so much out of your schedule and routine and your associates and people that you be around? A lot of that energy too, you gotta react and respond to. But we don't want to overdo dealing with unknown energies. We don't want to overdo, okay, the way that we express ourselves to people in this energy, in this area of life right now, or we feel like we have to connect to others right now. We want to organize and structure that, okay? And last but not least, all right, we got my Libra risings, 12th house. And I call this refine how you schedule your routine. What? Refine how you schedule and routine your dreams. I don't know how that shit. I should have just been able to remember exactly what I know what the energy is. But the way I wrote that shit look crazy. The way I wrote that shit look crazy, y'all. I just want to make sure I say that shit right. But yeah, the 12th house. 12th house, Libra risings. All right. So the 12th house dealing with the subconscious realm, the collective, your imagination, your intuition, your belief system. All right. What you've learned, especially amongst the connection of the emotions, especially what you've learned with your experiences trying to live your dreams. All of that gets stored in the 12th house. So when we're looking at the full moon transiting here, you got Virgo in the 12th house. All right? Virgo starting in your 12th house. You're always trying to find ways to be realistic about your dreams. So it could create insecurities with you analyzing and being too critical about things that you aspire to do and your belief system and your imagination, being too critical of them things, or the way you Virgos in this house, depending on certain alignments, once they get into right energies or you fall into a positive spectrum of this or that area of life, you know, you're going to be geared towards making sure your dreams and imagination stay on schedule. And with the full moon transit in the 12th house, it's time to influence that. It's time to influence, for you to catch the influence of understanding how to keep your dreams on schedule, how to make sure your dreams is getting time and attention, and how you're working on these things. All right? Yeah, so this is a time right now where you could feel, you could have a high emotion placed to feeling incapable with your imagination. Because the 12th house will get you lost. So it sounds all peachy and sweet, talking about dreams, imagination, fantasies. That's exactly what it is. Your dreams and your fantasies and your imagination and the out in the dream world. So we have nightmares too. We have dreams we can't understand for shit. We experience illusions. So with the moon transit in here, all right, it's time to react and respond to understanding that, like, you know, these things need a routine and need to stay on routine. And you don't want to take this energy and be highly emotional about how critical you're being of yourself, or understanding how much work and how much detail is needed towards how you're going to work on something that's on your subconscious right now, things that you be daydreaming about. It's more so just taking your time to really understanding where the time need to be readjusted, y'all. Slay, y'all. You just need to understand where that shit need to be readjusted at, where it needs to be refined at when it comes to your dreams. And understand you got to take it one day at a time. The full moon transit in your 12th house going to place a lot of emotion as well towards your dreams and imagination. So it could be an inspiring ass energy. But at the same time, it's like dreams don't work itself overnight. So I understand that you want to set a course for yourself with how you're dealing with your dreams and imagination. For a lot of y'all right now, I feel like you're getting closer to your dreams. You're getting closer to things that you feel me that you're working on right now. You're aspiring to be. The full moon is coming towards here to tell you, all right, great. Let's understand how we could create the best system to keep this in schedule, to keep helping us to work what is it that we aspire in our dreams and our potential into schedule. Okay? So that's what we're dealing with, y'all, with the 12th house. And this is going to open up opportunities for that Sun and Venus in the 6th house. All right, Libra risings? You got Pisces in the 6th house, a whole bunch of creativity that's waiting to be worked on. But the moon transit in the 12th house is influencing you to make sure that your dreams overall is being in a schedule, or is being scheduled and organized. All right? The full moon transit in the 12th house is tapping you more so into the emotion of recollecting how you can organize and schedule. So Sun and Venus in the 6th house is helping you to, that's how you build the opportunities and the portals to be able to work and express and start connecting, all right, to your dreams and imagination based off of how you're working on it, all right? So these are the influences transiting the house family. Do you think Earth in the 12th houses make someone want to make their dreams practical? Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like everything has a positive and negative spectrum. We could be in positive and negative energies of all of our placements. So that Earth in that 12th house, it could be two. Virgo is different because it's Mercury energy. Mercury is going to heavily be critical. So having Mercury and Virgo in certain places in your chart might play out as a detriment a lot because you're being too critical in a certain area that don't need that. Having Virgo or Mercury certain places in your chart, you're going to be critical and having attention to detail in the right areas, aka Mercury in the 6th house, aka Mercury in the 3rd house, Mercury in air houses, Mercury in air signs. The way you deal with communicating to others, you're thinking about it, you think about how you're relating to others. You're thinking about your relationships and who you should be associated with and gaining. So or Mercury and Mercury is just debilitated for real in the 9th and Sagittarius and Pisces and in the 12th house. So when you got Virgo in the 12th house, the Mercury energy do too much in the 12th houses at times. The Virgo constellation do too much in 12th house at times. It'd be overthinking when it comes to his dreams. It'd be overthinking about the things that it wants to, the potential it sees in itself, and analyzing it from so many different perspectives, seeing all the ways it can go wrong, it can't work. So you want to stay on the positive spectrum of that, understanding you can practicalize it through working on it, through structuring it. Just don't let the deep critical analysis of yourself and through the journey play as a detriment. Let that play as wisdom. Let that play as something you're learning, because the 12th house also deals with how you learn. All right? Also deal with how you learn, because we got influences of Jupiter. We got influences of Neptune here. So the 9th house is the house of experiences, where 12th house is how we learn through connecting with the collective and being out here trying to live our dreams and our aspirations and our potential into the collective. How do we recollect all them experiences well and develop a stronger belief system? All right? A stronger belief system and approach towards our dreams and imagination and what we feel like we can be. So positive and negative spectrum to everything. All right, y'all. So y'all already know I appreciate y'all building with me. Y'all already know, tap into my website to connect with the Lucky Libra. Check out the Patreon and all that family. All right, we close to 30 Patreons in under a couple months. So that is I don't even know what to say to that. So I'm just appreciative to be in the position and build with y'all and all that. All right, family. So stay cool, calm, and collected under this full moon. Let's not do too much. Don't let this Virgo energy have us do too much. Let's make sure we direct Virgo and the Mercury energy to what we need to be thinking about, to what we need to be mentally structuring, organizing, and practicalizing. All right? Not in the wrong places. And let's understand, let's not overwhelm ourselves with how critical we may be of ourselves, and trying to see the details to our capabilities and incapabilities and whatnot. All right, family? So until next time, y'all,